JavaScript variables. Variable means anything that can vary. In JavaScript, a variable stores data that can be changed later on. In JavaScript, a variable can be declared using var, let, const keywords. Var keyword is used to declare variables since JavaScript was created. It is confusing and error-prone when using variables declared using var. Let keyword removes the confusion and error of var. It is the new and recommended way of declaring variables in JavaScript. Const keyword is used to declare a constant variable that cannot be changed once assigned a value. Here, we will use the let keyword to declare variables. To declare a variable, write the keyword let followed by the name of the variable you want to give, as shown below. In the example, varName is a variable declaration. It does not have any value yet. The default value of variables that do not have any value is undefined. You can assign a value to a variable using the equals operator when you declare it or after the declaration and before accessing it. The message variable is declared first and then assigned a string value in the next line. You can declare a variable and assign a value to it in the same line. Values can be of any data type such as string, numeric, Boolean, and other variable types. Here's an example of multiple variable types: string, numeric, and Boolean. Multiple variables can also be declared in a single line, as shown below, provided they are separated or ends with a semicolon. You can copy the value of one variable to another variable. On the example number, one can have a similar value on number 2. JavaScript allows multiple white spaces and line breaks when you declare variables, provided that we separate them in comma, and the last declared variable should be ended with a semicolon. Variable names are case-sensitive in JavaScript. You cannot declare a duplicate variable using the let keyword with the same name in case. JavaScript will throw a syntax error. Although, variables can have the same name if declared with the var keyword. This is why it is recommended to use let keyword in declaring. Let keyword is recommended to avoid duplicate on variable names. We don't want duplicate variable names. Remember, variable names can contain letters, digits, or the symbols $sign and underscore. A variable name cannot start with a digit 0 to 9. A variable name cannot be a reserved keyword in JavaScript, such as var, function, return cannot be variable names. JavaScript is a loosely typed language. It means that you don't need to specify what data type a variable will contain. You can update the value of any type after initialization. It is also called dynamic typing. Dynamic typing, also known as dynamic type checking or dynamic type evaluation, is a programming language feature in which variables are not bound to a specific data type at compile time, but are instead determined at runtime based on the value assigned to them. Dynamic typing allows for more flexible and expressive code since variables can adapt to different types of data as needed. This can lead to more concise and readable code in certain scenarios. Next is the constant variables in JavaScript. Constant variables must be declared and initialized at the same time. The value of the constant variables can't be changed after initialize them. The value of a constant variable cannot be changed, but the content of the value can be changed. For this example, the first line declares a constant variable person and assigns it an object name, Mike. This object has a single property named name with the initial value, Mike. Since person is declared using const, it cannot be reassigned to a different object, but the properties of the object it refers to can still be modified. The second line is an update the value of the name property of the person object from Mike to John. This is achieved by directly accessing the name property of the person object using .notation, person.name, and assigning the new value, John, to it. Here's another simplified example of declaring a constant variable. This will simply alert as welcome. It is best practice to give constant variable names in capital letters to separate them from other non-constant variables. Next is on variable scope. In JavaScript, a variable can be declared either in the global scope or the local scope. If a variable is declared out of any function are called global variables. They can be accessed anywhere in the JavaScript code. Even inside any function, and variables declared inside the function are called local variables of that function. They can only be accessed in the function where they are declared, but not outside. With this example, we start by declaring a global variable greet outside any function. This means it can be accessed from anywhere in the script, both inside and outside functions. Next, we define a function named myFunction. Inside this function, we declare a local variable message using the let keyword. Local variables are only accessible within the function where they are declared. Inside myFunction, we use the alert function to display a message that combines the greet global variable and the message local variable. This works because the function can access both global and local variables. And then we call the myFunction to execute its code and display the alert message. After the function call, we use another alert to display the value of the global variable greet. This works fine because global variables are accessible from anywhere in the script. Finally, we attempt to access the local variable message outside the function. This results in an error because local variables are confined to the scope of the function where they are declared and cannot be accessed from outside that scope. This code demonstrates the concepts of global and local variables in JavaScript and how their scope affects where they can be accessed within a script. Points to remember. Variables can be defined using let keyword. Variables defined without let or var keyword become global variables. Variables should be initialized before accessing it. Unassigned variable has value undefined. JavaScript is a loosely typed language, so a variable can store any type value. Variables can have local or global scope. Local variables cannot be accessed out of the function where they are declared, whereas the global variables can be accessed from anywhere.